I lived in Manhattan on Lexington Avenue before coming here. And of course, 4 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork, you used to hear the garbage trucks coming down the street, clanging, picking up the garbage, and not mess in the front of the building all the time. And when I got here, they told me, you're not going to see garbage anymore. You're not going to hear trucks coming down the street anymore. And I said, no, come on, you're kidding me.
I tie it off and take it out, and I'm aware of the fact that the chute opening, the door, is not that large. So I try not to create anything so large that it won't go down. Pull the chute door open, put it down.
It's stored in the chute until we start up our turbines and proceed to pull. We pull one building at a time, 5 pulls per day. We do an extra one on the weekend because people are home throwing out more garbage. It comes back at about 30 miles an hour through the underground pipes. Hits a separator.
Central plant then squishes it and compacts it into a nice little square. We put it in the container. And then the driver comes and picks it up and takes it away to a transfer station.
It's a giant vacuum cleaner.
First of all, they couldn't get too many people to come over here. People weren't, in the beginning, weren't too happy about coming to Roosevelt Island.
It was really almost a ghost town. There were not a lot of buildings. And I thought, why are people living here? It's so desolate.
Grim reminders of its past look out upon the river. The island the city calls Welfare. 167 acres of ruin. This once housed the infirm, insane, and corrupt.
But little by little, it sort of grew, and the idea came across that, hey, this is a pretty good place.
I was just so in love with it. The balmy breeze.
It's so quiet when you get here, and the pace of life seems to slow down. There are trees and a lot of grass around and flowers.
And people learn it. Once you get here, it's much more relaxed than the city.
The tram had just opened up at that time, and it was sort of a novelty, floating in the air over that river, and the scene was gorgeous.
The island itself is a small city, and there's certainly many unique aspects. Most cities don't have a seawall around them. Most cities don't have a steam plant and a steam tunnel. Most cities don't have an AVAC system.
It's efficient for a high population density. The streets here are extremely narrow, and it would be dangerous and probably unsightly to pile, big piles of garbage and have collection trucks on the island.
There was a lot of utopian ideas that the island was supposed to embody, and I think that an AVAC system was one of their brilliant ideas.
Running the system is automatic? No. Sometimes it could be automatic. Sometimes as it's going down, the valves won't close. There's something small that's holding the valve open. Maintaining the main turbines downstairs, changing oil and compressors.
The compactors have been held together by Jerry and his crew with chewing gum and baling wire. I don't think I was prepared for all of the types of problems you can run into.
It's amazing what can come through that pipe. It's amazing what people can shove down that pipe to block it up. The
engineer knows from the vacuum gauges that there's a jam in the system. We notify the buildings affected to lock their chutes. We go out and try to find approximately where it is and free it up. We usually run solid sewer rods with a corkscrew on the end to penetrate the garbage. A lot of times when we're snaking the jams, we have to pull that refuse out by hand. Keyboards,
A drawer from a desk.
wood shelving,
Bed frames.
exercise equipment,
So I've seen cinder blocks.
Christmas trees, vacuum cleaners.
Things that are just not meant to be sucked through a 20-inch pipe.
We had an electric frying pan jam once that gave us a lot of trouble. It was plugged in the tube, and a computer once. That was another one that baffled us. The most the system has ever been down in 19 years that I've been here, maybe a quarter of the system for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, where we had to get a big dump truck with a cable to pull soaking wet phone books. When they delivered phone books to the island, any leftover phone books were discarded. So all at once we had chutes full of phone books. And then some of the building personnel tried to throw water down to lubricate the chute, so that formed a paper mache, like a clay.
Nature abhors a vacuum, and it is always trying to break that vacuum, and the system depends on the vacuum, and without those seals.
Maintaining the seal is one of the most important things. If we leak in vacuum, we have to run the turbines faster, using more electricity, and wearing the pipe exponentially.
You'll have a nice shiny steel pipe where this abrasion has taken place, and where it's actually perforated, you'll actually see soil or rust and find metal filings. When we get a situation that's bad enough, we call the Swedes right now. They're the only ones that we found that will climb down that 20-inch pipe. He's taller than I am, but a lot skinnier and a lot narrower. The Swede enters the pipe on a small trolley, rolling down with a steel patch that he would then tack weld onto the pipe. It's like the Great Escape, pulling the guy to get out. My shoulders won't make 20 inches, so I'm not going down there. If the city in general and the world in general is moving towards more extensive and more effective recycling, the type of system that we have here needs to be upgraded or addressed. But the main system is 35 years old. Will it last for 60 years? Probably not. They do have more modern AVAC systems.
Sekkene bringes til innkastluken. Der velger du hva slags avfall som skal kastes.
Mechanically and electronically choose a chute that has recycle material in it and open the valve to that. At the same time, they're opening a valve at the receiving end so that that recycled material is sucked and placed in a recycled bin.
Steng luken og velg ny fraksjon.
Ours is one chute, one bin, one pile of garbage.
A gentleman called late at night because somehow his false teeth had gotten into the chute. But we convinced him that once the teeth hit the separator, they would be in pieces. People have lost their pocketbooks, diamond rings.
And I know once I couldn't find one of my rings and was horrified that, oh my goodness, it's in the garbage.
The person who drops it down the chute has to go find, look through all that garbage.
And I wanted to call, I think I did call them.
Of course, it's, like I said, over 12 tons of garbage.
Could we stop the system so that we could find what I had thrown away? And pretty much, realize that it wasn't quite possible.